They don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into. That day that we walked out, I treasured that day.
I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good. Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. We begin tonight here in Buffalo, London, in Alaska, Uvalde,
Kentucky, from Poland, Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw. Did you ever have a conversation about an abortion? Is she lying? Do you have political aspirations?
Absolutely.
You ready for this?
You are going to deliver a show that will be remembered forever.
Ooh, the front on me.
You are just a tough dad.
From America's #1 news source comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and it can customize to you and your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience what all the buzz is about. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Reporting from Manhattan, I'm Diana Sato. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
This morning on World News Now, Hollywood grinds to a halt with 2 unions on strike. The latest, the Actors Union.
We are the victims here.
What it means for TV and movie lovers in the months ahead.
Plus, the GOP anger after the Secret Service says it can't find who left cocaine at the White House.
They're bracing for more rain today in New England, with 1 death now attributed to this week's flooding. Plus, how hot it could get in the West this weekend, and the people who seek it out, summer tourism in Death Valley.
The milestone decision, an over-the-counter birth control pill, how soon it could be made available.
In the skinny, the reclusive Richard Simmons speaks out. Plus, why is John Cena dressed as a merman? And see who's covering this Backstreet hit. It's Friday, July 14th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Backstreet's back. We're back. It's Friday. Good morning, Insomniacs. Andrew Dipperton alongside by Rhiannon. The song never gets old. Actually, none of the Backstreet Boys songs ever get old.
I'd love to see a big, huge comeback for the Backstreet Boys. And
They kind of had one. No,
Did they?
A little bit. A couple years ago, they went on tour again.
well, I mean, I'd like to see them
Yeah.
with the new generation. And this is one of those stories where, you know, we say you might be surprised to hear who was playing their song. This one you actually will be surprised. I was surprised.
Do boy bands, is that even a genre of music anymore? Besides like K-pop, it's the, the old boy bands of the 90s, 98 Degrees, NSYNC, O-Town, Backstreet Boys. They don't make them like that
They
anymore.
don't make them like they used to.
So
But
you
you're
know what
right.
they're doing? They're remaking.
K-pop groups are the big thing now.
So they're remaking. We will show you who is covering the Backstreet Boys. Could be us. You never know. But first, we want to begin with Hollywood. At a virtual standstill now that actors are joining writers on the picket lines.
They voted unanimously to strike after talks with studios broke down. Now, key issues for both the actors and the writers: residual payments from streaming services and also protection from artificial intelligence.
And who's left in the dust? Consumers. This morning, for the first time in 63 years, 2 major Hollywood unions have walked off the job, bringing the film and TV industry to a halt. At midnight, the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, going on strike, unable to reach a deal with major studios.
We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things.
Fran Drescher, best known for her role as the nanny, and now the president of SAG-AFTRA, took aim at the major studios.
They plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting.
Earlier in the day, Bob Iger, the CEO of ABC's parent company Disney, called the union's demands unrealistic.
There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. And they are adding to a set of challenges that this business is already facing that is, quite frankly, very disruptive.
Actors Matt Damon and Emily Blunt were among those walking out of the London premiere of the new movie Oppenheimer in support of the strike.
Sitting here earlier on red carpet. Unfortunately, they're off to break their picket signs.
Press tours for upcoming movies like Barbie are expected to mostly come to a halt. The strike means no actors on red carpets, no social media promotion, and no talk show appearances. Despite this, at least one major studio is expected to see a major windfall this week. The new Mission Impossible is expected to rake in between $85 and $95 million through Sunday. For TV and movie lovers, the outlook is bleak. An estimated 80% of productions were already shut down due to the ongoing writer's strike. The actor's strike means even more delays and cancellations.
Well, the Secret Service has closed its investigation into the discovery of cocaine at the White House, and there are no suspects. Investigators say they learned nothing from the surveillance video, and despite highly sophisticated forensic testing, they say they found no DNA and no fingerprints on the baggie that contained the cocaine. Now, Republicans are crying foul.
Anything revolving around Biden Inc. is treated different than any other American, and that's got to stop.
Republicans say investigators should have questioned the roughly 500 staff and visitors that had access to the area at that time.
Vermont's governor says residents should be vigilant today when thunderstorms are expected in some areas still drying out from this week's flooding. Officials now say 1 man drowned in the high water. Heavy equipment has been moved into flood-prone areas ahead of today's storms. Meanwhile, more than 110 million Americans from Florida to California are under heat alerts. And as ABC's Matt Rivers reports, things aren't cooling down anytime soon.
That deadly coast-to-coast heat wave now expanding, with temperatures set to get even hotter and more dangerous this weekend. Phoenix and that stunning number, 14 straight days of temperatures at or above 110 degrees.
Asphalt like this, baking in the sun. This about 160 degrees. It absorbs the heat during the day and then releases it overnight, which means even when the sun goes down, the city doesn't cool down as much as it should.
In Houston, the extreme heat nearly costing 63-year-old John Longoria his life, collapsing while mowing his lawn.
I drove myself to the nearest fire station,
And once I got there, they checked me out, and I was having a heart attack. I think sometimes we do take it for granted that it's hot out there.
The heat wreaking havoc on land and at sea. 40% of the global ocean now experiencing a severe marine heat wave. The water temperature off southern Florida hit a shocking 98 degrees, threatening the precious coral reefs.
If we lose our coral, we're going to lose our fish. We're going to lose livelihoods for everybody else. We're going to lose our jobs because there'll be nobody wanting to see the reefs.
Europe also baking in a blistering heat wave. Italy, France, Greece, and Spain all bracing for temperatures near 104 degrees. And experts say these punishing heat events are more frequent, intense, and longer due to human-caused climate change.
And back here in Phoenix, there's no relief even at night. In fact, it's been 4 straight days since the temperature went below 90 degrees here at any point. That is closing in on an all-time record. Matt Rivers, ABC News in Phoenix.
All right, Matt, stay cool out there. Okay, so another place where it doesn't dip below 90 degrees overnight is one of the hottest tourist destinations in the entire U.S.
We're talking about Death Valley National Park in California, where temperatures this weekend could climb past, am I reading this right, 130 degrees.
That is incredible. Visitors say they have never felt heat quite like this.
It's very hot. I mean, especially when there's a breeze, you would think that maybe that would give you some slight relief from the heat, but it just really does feel like an air blow dryer just going back in your face.
At more than 5,300 square miles, it is the largest national park in the lower 48 and bills itself as the lowest, hottest, and driest place on Earth.
If you are going to go to the Death Valley, first of all, I don't know why you'd go now, but drink plenty of water, sunscreen, take the proper precautions. By the way, the hottest day recorded in Death Valley was 134 degrees back in 1913.
Yeah, and by the way, you said I don't know why you'd go right now. It turns out more than 1.1 million people visit, and about a fifth of the visitors actually go in June, July,
Yeah,
August.
they want to go.
They want to go.
But this is even too hot
in the
for Death Valley.
part.
That's where it gets its name. Coming up, a record-breaking snake caught where else? Florida.
Plus, the FDA approves the first ever birth control pill that can be bought over the counter without a prescription. What patients and parents need to know.
And later in the skinny, the crossover that Coldplay just gave us that has the Backstreet Boys saying, all right. You're watching World News Now.
Whenever news breaks,
The crushing families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas, ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
This is the craziest story.
Amanda Lemon, Hollywood movie producer. Lola Kent, reality star. Vanderpump Rules.
This is the juiciest time in reality show history.
How could I not have been smarter?
It was awful to everyone.
This is certainly the underbelly of Hollywood.
I have to put up a big fight.
I do hope he gets what he deserves.
The Randall Scandal. Love, Loathing, and Vanderpump. Only on Hulu.
Get ready, America.
Every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes.
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Only on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
With so much at stake in our world right now, we wanted to thank you for your trust and for making ABC News America's #1 news.
And thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
We're back with a brawl in Parliament. Chaos broke out in Kosovo Thursday after an opposition lawmaker threw water on the prime minister. Moments later, items were being thrown across the floor as politicians started wrestling each other. It took 4 hours to resume the session.
4 hours. Well, as some states move to restrict access to reproductive services, the FDA has made a game-changing move. Starting next year, a birth control pill will be available over the counter for the first time ever. This morning, a milestone decision by the FDA approving a daily oral contraceptive pill that for the first time can be bought over the counter without a prescription.
Patients will be able to walk into a grocery store, a drugstore, online, and purchase this like they purchase Advil, Tylenol, or something like that.
It's just an amazing moment.
The once-a-day hormonal pill is called Opill. The FDA decision will remove certain challenges for women seeking birth control, such as having to pay for a doctor's visit or taking time off work.
We know that those barriers are part of the systemic barriers faced by many people trying to access healthcare in this country, and we're particularly hopeful that it will transform access for those folks.
Before the FDA's decision, an independent advisory panel found the less complex active ingredient in oat pill posed fewer risks than other birth control pills that rely on estrogen. The company behind the pill released a statement yesterday calling it a truly momentous day, adding that nearly half the pregnancies in the U.S. every year are unintended. But oat pill will not have an age limit for sales, which could be a point of contention.
I do think you're going to see some pushback from conservative groups that say, there really should be an age restriction on it because parents should be involved in that.
It also comes as dozens of states have sought to restrict access to birth control and abortion services.
For women that are in the states that have very restrictive reproductive health laws, women who are in a marginalized community, this is really going to help them.
The pill is expected to hit the market early next year, but there's no word yet on how much it will cost.
A hunter in Florida is celebrating a record catch. 22-year-old Jake Wallery nabbed a 19-foot-long Burmese python at a national reserve along the Gulf Coast. At 19 feet, that is the longest ever recorded. He and the 125-pound reptile wrestled on the ground after Monday's catch. Other people joined in to help him out. These snakes are invasive species, so Florida permits their killing to prevent them from wreaking havoc on the ecosystem. I'll just watch this on video. I don't need to take part.
I cannot with this video. Is this serious?
What happens if you lose that wrestling match?
Thank goodness there were other people there. You could see the snake trying to get around him.
125 pounds.
Wow, that video is incredible.
The size of an adult.
Yeah, we're glad that everyone's okay, except the snake, of course. When we come back, the 80s fitness icon who just turned 75 years old.
And the celeb showing off her $1 million mobile home. The Skinny is next.
This is the craziest story. Amanda Lemmet, Hollywood movie producer. Lola Kent, reality star, Vanderpump Rules. This is the juiciest time in reality show history. How could I not have been smarter?
It was awful to everyone.
This is certainly the underbelly of Hollywood.
I have to put up a big fight. I do hope he gets what he deserves.
The Randall Scandal. Love, Loathing, and Vanderpump. Only on Hulu.
Still get your feelings hurt. So proper and I'm thankful for your mom. Skyline, baby. Still get your feelings hurt. Feels for you. Feelings for you. Feelings for you. You feeling something, baby. Still get your feelings for you. Still get your feelings for you.
Good morning, America.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is The King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. With a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning. America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different.
Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You're watching America's #1 streaming news, ABC News Live. Breaking news, exclusives, live reporting across the globe. Keep streaming with ABC News Live.
Reporting from Denver, I'm Mola Legge. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Time now for the Skinny, starting with a rare public statement from a reclusive 80s icon. You'll recognize him, yeah.
Yeah, we all know him. After years out of the spotlight, a rep for 75-year-old Richard Simmons tells Entertainment Tonight, quote, I just want to see him happy, which he is.
I was surprised by this. Simmons' last public appearance was back in 2014, but he used to dominate our TV screens in what, the 90s was kind of the height of it anyway. His withdrawal from public life spawned speculation, including that his housekeeper was keeping him hostage.
And who can forget he rose to fame in the 80s, turning sweat into the oldies into a cultural movement. I remember my mom had VHS tapes of this and would do them in the living room. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, we got it.
Is this exercise? I mean, in the 90s
Worked
it was.
for him.
It did.
Did he lose a whole bunch of weight? That was his whole thing, right? He lost like
I think it's got to be more than just the. That's
think it was more than.
Yeah, I think we need a little more.
Next to the crossover cover that nobody saw coming.
During a tour stop in Sweden, Coldplay frontman Chris Martin broke into a piano cover of the Backstreet Boys' 1997 hit Everybody. And the boy band has not only given it their stamp of approval, they shared it on Instagram.
Is it just me, or does pretty much anything sound better when Chris Martin is singing it? You just gotta love Coldplay.
It's more of a ballad too on the piano.
Yeah, I'm digging that. The boys captioned the clip, buzzing from Coldplay's cover of Everybody. Truly an honor.
I'm glad it just has the stamp of approval from the Backstreet Boys. That's how you know it's good. Next to stars, we tell you all the time. Here's more proof. They're just like us. Yep. Did you know that they even take summer vacations?
Yeah, and
wow.
they do it just like we do on $160 million super yachts. I mean, you just did that in Italy last
week.
week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Magic Johnson sharing some snaps of his annual vacation, this time aboard the Phoenix 2 yacht, along with his besties, Michael Jordan, Samuel L. Jackson, and Judge Greg Mathis.
We turned down our invites so they could go. How nice of us. The guys and their wives have been hitting hotspots across Europe. Including Greece, Italy, and France, the super yacht accommodates 12 guests and even has a beauty salon. If it could accommodate 14 guests, then I think we'd be good.
Then we'd go. It also has a crew of 29 people. It costs $1.3 million to charter. That is per week, my friends. And that does not include the expenses.
And those expenses be expensive.
Also, other stars, they're just like us, including Barbara Corcoran.
The real estate magnate is showing off her $1 million mobile home inside an exclusive trailer park in Los Angeles. Barbara says she likes her double wide even more than her $15 million New York City penthouse apartment, which I've seen a tour of online. And I don't know how she likes the mobile home more because that penthouse is something, I'll tell you.
It really is, but this is something too. She calls it the Taj Mahal. Finally, we are seeing for the first time John Cena as Mermaid Ken in Barbie. He plays Mermaid Ken opposite Dua Lipa as Mermaid Barbie.
Cena says that in the video, Barbie movie...
Still catching feelings for that one. So proper, and I'm thankful for your mom. Skyline, baby, blue. Still catching feelings, feelings for you. Feelings for you, feelings for you. You feeling something, baby. Still catching feelings for you. Still catching feelings for you.
Good morning, America. All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it. Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now. This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live? What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out. The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes.
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
on the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 store.
Along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye. Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7 straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Around the limit. Low-account Vanderpump Rules. Outrageous. Devastating.
Insane.
Heartbreaking. Lawsuits. I have to put up a big fight.
The Randall Scandal. Love, Loathing, and Vanderpump. Only on Hulu.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now, but a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead.
An alert this morning for dog owners
and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different.
Early mornings on ABC News Live.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
Bring the fire.
Right here in New York City is one of the world's hottest new solo artists from one of the world's hottest boy bands.
Yeah, it's happening later this morning right here on ABC, and fans, they've been lining up for days now. Here's WABC's Kimberly Richardson.
Here on the Upper East Side, a gathering of sorts.
My sister was here since Monday, and I just got here on Wednesday.
People from all over the world.
My whole family came from Mexico to see the concert.
Lining up, waiting to see, well, the person they consider all of that and more. Jungkook, the youngest member of mega South Korean boy band BTS.
He's very talented. He can do anything. He can sing, rap, dance, act, produce. I mean, he's everything.
The line here on Fifth Avenue goes on for what seems like forever. Friday morning, the 25-year-old megastar will take the stage, kicking off Good Morning America's free summer concert series. All of this coincides with the release of Cook's debut single, 7. A very important piece of equipment out here. This, you see, many of these super fans have skipped work. They've lied to their parents. They're very incognito, part of the do not show my face crowd. Case in point. But some here are concerned about the upcoming sold-out concert on the very same stage. Organizers of Summer Stage, for safety reasons, pulled the plug on this concert. There were thousands inside the venue listening to Juanes and many more outside the gates. Isabella was there, works for Billboard Espanol.
This was just the second song, and people were already stampeding through, and I mean, it was getting more lit, right? Like the show.
In less than 24 hours, these fans say it will be smooth sailing. How have you been holding up?
I'm just excited. I'm a hyper person.
Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Did you see the tattoo the one man got for the new single, 7? That's coming
Tattoos
up.
are permanent, by the way.
Yes, they are. That's coming up later this morning on GMA. You can watch that performance right here. Finally, though, to another international star making the day for one of his adoring fans.
No, he really is just like us. Argentinian soccer star Lionel Messi was spotted out and about in Miami buying groceries at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, Rhiannon. Just one day after arriving stateside with his wife and 3 kids. I don't see a pub sub there, though. How do you not get the pub sub?
Has anyone told him about the subs at Publix?
He'll learn.
You know, I have a hot take. I think Publix might be the best grocery chain in the
I
US.
accept that.
Yeah, you do?
I think so.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is the craziest story. At 11, Hollywood movie producer. Lola Kent.